Hey guys, Cruel Blind Wave, I'm Eric.
Rick.
I'm Calvin.
Aaron.
And we are back with Better Call Saul. Last time on, what happened?
Well, we had,
They stole a Hummel. And that stupid guy trapped in the office.
yeah.
Ira,
I was gonna call it
Yeah.
a knick-knack. Yeah, the Hummel.
A Hummel.
The little kid
Yeah.
kicking a ball or whatever.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Was Nacho shot last episode?
Nacho.
Was that the one
Well, in the
before?
beginning, they were getting him, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
They took
The
care of him
twins.
with the vet, right?
Yes.
So we did all that.
And he said, like, I don't care. I'm not doing any more
Yeah.
cartel work.
We also came across Gail,
Yep.
who was at the
University.
chemistry lab place there, which was interesting. And then we also had Jimmy read the letter from Chuck.
Yep. We did.
So,
And it affected Kim much more than Jimmy. Seemingly.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just thinking about the episode puts me into a state.
I know.
I need more Mike.
Just think about what this episode is going to bring you into.
More Mike.
Let's find out.
More.
4x4.
It is.
That's a 2x4.
Shut up, Calvin!
They should be driving
4x4 would be a square,
on an ATV.
right?
Yeah. He's building the.
So this is
A
young
walk.
Mike watching his dad, maybe?
I would say so, yeah.
Or it's Mike's son watching young Mike.
The kid has hair.
Could be that.
What's he say? Is it gonna be a Mike? Man,
It's an
he
M.
whatever he did was way too big.
He butchered that.
He's putting his name in it.
Maddie.
Oh, Maddie.
I think it was his son.
We'll see.
I don't think it was Mike.
We'll see. Well, it was Mike. He was there.
I talked.
What did he say?
That
Did you just tell that? We made some cement?
Maybe. They seem stunned into silence, though. That doesn't sound.
This looks like the hotel from the Walking Dead Telltale series.
What are we doing? Is this like people encroaching on the drug trade?
Salamanca territory?
Yeah, and Salamanca's, out of mission right now.
They're all just gonna get wiped out.
Oh.
I was thinking that maybe you should talk to someone.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got a name.
It's a shrink?
It works for a lot of people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, thank you. I almost forgot to tell you. I got a job.
Really?
Yep. You're looking at Albuquerque's newest mobile communications specialist. I'm a shift supervisor, even. Be very impressed. Cell phone sales. I'm selling cell phones. CC Mobile. I start today.
All right. But you'll just give him a call when you get a chance.
Of course.
You'll have the phones.
Absolutely.
Except you won't.
Coffee's on. Have a good first day.
Are you researching something?
No, Your Honor.
And you're working on your procedure.
Just observing.
There's a young woman in her early 20s, pregnant with her first child, nearing the end of term, healthy as a horse. And she develops a complication. And she goes to the hospital for delivery, and there's a mistake with the anesthesia. The baby's delivered fine, but the young mother suffers serious brain damage. And she's left comatose on a respirator. And to make matters worse, the hospital refuses to take responsibility.
This is the plot of the verdict.
Yes, of course it is. Because movies are the only place where those once-in-a-lifetime cases exist. You know what I got coming up next? I got a janitor who threw his pee on his boss. The one after that, she stabbed her boyfriend over a grilled cheese sandwich. This is the real world, Miss Wexler, and you won't find any save the broken lawyer cases in it. And having said that, we've got perpetual PD overload. So beware. Next time I see you lurking in my court, I'm gonna put you to work. Well, I read your brief very carefully, but I'm not.
I don't get what she's doing.
I mean, the way the judge talked about it, she's trying to find her love for being a lawyer
Yeah,
again.
I think she's looking for pro bono work, maybe.
Trying to find something that really interests her, that means something, maybe. Makes a verdict. Now she's just helping a rich firm
Get richer.
get rich.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of group, I've been thinking about reaching out to Henry. I think he needs a friend. Every time I see him, he seems worse.
Henry's fine. Because that dead wife he's always talking about never existed.
He's doing background checks on his group
What are you
people.
talking
Yeah.
It's an act.
Sympathy act.
Why would you even say that?
The guy's story changes every time he tells it.
Thinking of some tell.
Really?
He's got to tell. Like a bad poker player when he's lying. He rubs his wrist.
Okay.
Different story.
CC Mobile. Jimmy.
CC Jitters.
Is he like part of a road crew?
No,
He's got like a reflective vest.
it's not reflective. It's just high vis.
What's he need it for?
To be visible
To be
in the store.
visible.
You ever been in Walmart and you're like, where's the people that work here?
You walk
Blue
in.
vest.
They have a giant blue vest on, Rick.
They're all hiding in the back.
No, they're not. They're standing at the end of the aisle.
They could be
making
on
sure you're not
fire, I'd never
Stealing
find them.
anything.
But you can clearly, that guy works here.
Oh.
Ese es el
Who shot him?
de la carretera. Este lugar es una fortaleza. Vamos a necesitar más gente.
Not for the twins.
Puedo traer a Domingo y Javier y sus hombres.
They just go in right now, kill everybody.
Yeah.
They're gonna go in right now and kill everybody.
Are they gonna make him go? Oh, they're just getting the bags?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Quiet.
Cut back to just seeing them killing you. Oh my gosh. There's blood all over him already.
This is when the hitman mission goes wrong.
Fucking Salamancas.
Oh shit.
Come on, Nacho. This must have left something in the car, right?
I'm staying there. I've been shot twice. I ain't going in.
You're not wrong. But also a coward.
And if those two die. Wait. I was gonna say if those two die, most of his problems are solved.
You're right.
He's hobbling around.
Like John McClane.
He's got one leg, one arm.
I don't think he's left-handed either.
Hey, at least he has an extra bullet in his shoulder, right? In case he needs it. Some good squibs.
What did
Look
they
at
have
that.
in that bag?
Look at that squib.
It's a propane cannon.
Oh.
That's a squib gone wrong.
Or very right.
Dude, he's gonna walk in on this, everyone's dead.
Soda.
More bag guns.
Probably earned their respect this way.
Tour stitches. Just hope it's not his gut leaking.
Leaking out.
Yeah.
The other one just. Oh my gosh. What a shot. I love that.
No saving that suit.
No.
Take it to the dry cleaner.
And look at him. He's hit in the shoulder, I think, too.
He ain't got time to bleed.
I'm not sure if that's his blood or not, Calvin.
It might not be, but
I'm not
it
sure.
looks extra dark there where it's like seeping.
That guy's not even bloody.
Well, he was the what's it called on WoW? Who draws the aggro?
The tank? Like he was like drawing the fire and everything. The other guy's just going around killing everybody.
They probably just thought it was one guy. He's just everywhere. Look at him.
Sure.
We cleared out the Espinosas. They're all done.
Espinosa.
And the Salamanca brothers?
That's exactly who he wanted them to kill.
Marco took a hit, but he'll pull through. It's territory, isn't it? Salamanca's wipe out the Espinosas. Espinosa territory isn't for grabs.
Now he spreads more.
Cartel can't give it to the Salamancas, so I think they give it to you.
Do you have a problem with it?
Get some rest. You have more to do.
More bullets in the gut.
Whoops.
Hey,
Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, you hadn't quite finished.
I don't know why I noticed it just then, but I hadn't thought about Maddie all morning. Not once. And they weren't just minutes. There were hours that I didn't think about him. And if I can go hours, then why not a whole day? Why not a whole week? I mean, what if I lose the sound of his voice? What if I forget him completely?
He's just
I mean, I know I won't. That's
boiling.
impossible, but
A lot of us in this room have felt the same things you're talking about. I know I have.
Well, Mike's already seems upset.
Yeah, he's never been more
Trying to
upset.
get there. You know, to live in the here and now. She always wanted to go to Sydney, but money was tight. Finally, we were gonna go for our 25th, and that's when she got her test results.
Well, no, Mike.
Oh, Mike.
Not now.
Well, we're ready if you are.
Yeah.
This guy was never married. He's been coming in here for months selling you a bill of goods, getting you all misty-eyed and loving every minute of it. Stop.
That's just not true.
Yeah? Okay. So I'll go to the public library and I'll get the papers from 1997 and I'll run a search on Judy DeVore. She wanted to go to Australia? Last month it was Cuba. Come on, Henry. Let's look at the papers, see if the math works.
Come on, Mike.
She's not there, is she? You have no shame.
Is he right or is he wrong?
He's right.
He knew you wouldn't notice. And you didn't. All wrapped up in your sad little stories, feeding off each other's misery. You wanted me to talk. I talked.
Is that the moment?
That's the moment.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's better.
Should have been the end of the episode. You can't top that.
So good. So uncomfortable.
You think he was talking about Doug Judy?
No.
Judy DeVore.
Dios mío, mijo. ¿Te han hecho? No llames a nadie. Estaré a salvo si lo haces.
They're just gonna call you back. I did that once.
Hang up.
Puedo descansar aquí por un ratito.
Well, he knows how to sew vinyl. I wonder if he knows how to sew skin.
It's not fucking Leatherface, Calvin.
Why can't it?
Yeah, Bavarian Boy made quite a splash at the Collectibles Expo. Bidding war.
Wow. Great. We both know you could have kept most of this. I would have never known the difference.
Yeah, well, you could have left me high and dry. I'm liking this Hummel thing.
We're gonna do this again.
Okay, yeah.
I'll find something.
Sounds good. When you do, call the vet.
Yeah?
Yeah, new job, new phone.
Yeah, makes sense.
You never know who's listening.
You can start a phone business for criminals. He works at the phone store.
Oh, yeah. He could make himself a new line that's completely anonymous.
Is the man listening?
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I don't think he told Robbie about that one.
You have something to tell me? If you do, you would be well advised to do so.
Nacho Varga. I wondered when you were going to get around to this.
You knew Varga was moving against my interests.
I said I wouldn't kill Salamanca. I never promised to be his bodyguard. So, what now? You brought me here because you have an ask. So why don't you stop running a game on me and just tell me about the job?
Oh, that shot.
Ah, it's over.
Dashboard. What job?
Sure, I could figure it out if I was smart enough. I'm not. So I can't.
I couldn't even figure out what the hell. I can't even figure out what Jimmy was writing, and I could see letters.
I was like, there's a THEMA. I don't know what this is. I mean, that was all there. It was multiple words, and I couldn't tell what it was.
How many burner phones you sell in your time?
I don't know. I'm sure a lot. I mean, I sold a lot of like prepaid phones and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I have a burner phone in my car right now.
That was in your bag.
Back's my car.
It's not a burner phone if you can't use it. If it's not activated, it's not a phone. It's just a piece of electronics.
Accidentally ordered it through my pants pocket. I'm so not a Jimmy in that I could sit there, read a book, draw.
Sure, I mean,
Listen to a podcast.
Listen to a podcast, occupy my time.
you're getting paid to basically relax.
Yeah.
Right? But,
I mean, especially if it's something like that where I'm not invested, you know. Here, I work, I'm investing, I want to do stuff, you know, but
I would rather have
like
a busy day.
if I was working at the pizza shop and there's just no one coming and I wasn't like responsible for getting, you know, business or whatever, I could sit there all day.
I would much rather have a busy day.
Yeah?
Because the time passes so much faster. Even if I'm doing whatever I want to do, like I'm listening to music or a podcast or something like that.
Gotcha.
It drags on compared to helping 50 people, you know?
If I get paid either way, it doesn't matter to me. But if it's like working on commission, then I could definitely see that.
Yeah. What if it's like, well, if there's no business, this place is going to shut down and then I don't have a job?
That's why I was
Which
like,
that happened
if
too.
I get paid either way.
I mean, you do get paid until the place shuts down.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was just curious on Calvin channeling like a Nick Cage moment there. I felt like they really have a busier day because it goes by so much faster. Like it was just like all
I
of a
just
sudden,
remember the
there was
slow
just
days at the mall.
there was just a moment like, "Drah!"
Those Sunday afternoons where nobody goes to the mall to buy electronics. And it's just
I had like
so long.
the 11 to, or I guess 9 to 4 shift at the pizza shop. There'd be like, I made like 5 pizzas. Just heaven.
Yeah.
The help desk was
Make my own nachos for lunch.
slow a
In the
lot.
oven.
I mean, that would be fun.
Oh,
Fuck
so
yes.
good.
But, yeah.
Sure. We made breakfast pizzas in the morning, like at Little Caesars and stuff. where like we'd go to Kmart next door and get like eggs and milk.
Yep.
And then come back and use stuff from Little Caesars to make like a omelet pizza.
So these weren't on the menu. You were just
No, we were making it.
Just made them for you
we
guys.
had dough, we had cheese, we had sausage. You know, or like go buy some of this stuff, make ourselves a breakfast pizza, eat it here.
should have sent that to corporate.
The only thing that they didn't count was like they counted boxes, so they knew how
didn't
many
count
boxes
dough.
going in and out and stuff like that. Sometimes dough gets thrown away because it can't sit too long, you know. So
It's
it's like
just-
there was
it's-
always extra dough and stuff sitting around.
You can't barcode dough, right?
Not really, no.
You can't do the Play-Doh newspaper trick.
Yeah.
They're not weighing it by weight like the meth.
No, no, they're tracking that a lot more than dough at Pizza Place.
And I think the scene of the episode was the calling out of Henry.
Well, we started there.
Yeah.
And then we came back and
Yeah.
oh, so
That is what happened,
glorious.
right? Like
Yeah.
we saw the end of that scene, and then we went.
Well, you wanted me to talk. I talked.
I just want to know, like, I want to know that he didn't walk out because he felt insulted, and that he walked out because he got called out on what he's been doing.
Yeah, it would be very sad and sucky.
Yeah.
If Mike happened to be wrong.
Yeah. What if he really had a wife?
I guess it depends on his personality, but I feel like he would have gotten angry, but maybe not. Like if it had been true, you know. I think leaving indicates guilt.
Yeah, it's Mike's performance, man. Like, it's so subtle, but he's putting in work there as an actor. Whenever he's listening to Stacy talk about, I didn't think about Maddie all day. He just was so upset.
Yeah.
And he's like betraying almost none of it on his face, except
he's twitching.
Yeah, I love it.
He's twitching. He's breathing hard. He's like.
I love
he's moving his
performances
jaw.
like that.
Ow, actually.
Because it's a guy trying to act like a guy that's trying not to react.
Yeah.
Well, like, was he thinking of that Maddie moment then?
I think so.
While she was talking about not thinking about Maddie?
Yeah.
Is that what was going on?
Yeah, I wonder like if he's had that same moment where he's gone time without thinking about him, you know, angry at himself.
Maybe.
Or maybe he hasn't. That's why he's angry at her.
That could be too.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like this guy's that is using this group who's making a mockery of like she's getting better and I'm not. You know, I don't know.
Making like trying to get sympathy.
Yeah. And then Mike is just he's like the literal embodiment of the concept of death of the ego. So when he sees people that do that, and he'll have no greater ego to contend with than Walter White in the future, but he sees that guy come in and like absorb all of that emotion people are giving him and stuff. He just can't take it.
I wonder how often this happens on the internet.
Oh, every day.
So much.
I'm
People
sure every
fishing
day.
for sympathy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just lies.
We all know someone in our
attention
lives
in general,
that, like,
right? Like people just saying like, "Hey, my dad works on Nintendo," you know, like that. It's that kind of idea, right? Where it's like I'm just looking for
Sure.
attention. So here's a story that I can make up and type on a forum or a comment or Discord or wherever it is.
There's definitely I don't know about you guys. I can think of a single person in my life right now that is a pity collector. If you have something that's going wrong, they have something that's 10 times more wrong.
Oh yeah.
And they're always one-upping them. They don't. No one else suffers like they do.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of it's mindset.
I don't think of the pity one right off hand, but I think
Yeah.
of someone who like always had a better whatever it was.
A one-upper?
Right? Yeah,
A one-upper.
Always.
Yeah. I know one that's both.
I remember like someone talking about like, oh yeah, I got to do this and this. Like, oh, well, I did this. It's like, oh, I just got this new car. Oh, I just got this car. It's like, oh, I just got this cool camera.
I
had
bought this car
video.
dealership.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one of those things. Right? There was always something better or whatever that they had done or whatnot, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
The next time I saw them, they were just like not even like a manager or anything. They were just an associate at GameStop. Mm-hmm. I was
Do you think they know?
Thought you always went up and everything, and now you're here.
Or do you think they're oblivious?
I don't know.
You know?
They know that he knows.
Like, do they realize what they're doing? 'Cause
Well, like-
sometimes people just do it to be like, I'm just trying to add into the conversation, right?
What am I doing that no one has told me? You know?
Sure.
Like, who's talking about me right now? It's like, that guy.
Fucking Rick.
Hate that guy. That thing he does.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
No, I
Like-
mean, there's things where like someone tells a story, and then you tell a story that's similar, but it's not necessarily that you're trying to
one up.
You're not trying to like take it and be like, I already know
You're
this.
trying to
I
connect.
understand. You're like, here's my relatable story that I have. I'm trying to connect with it, not dismiss what you're saying and add in mind as being more important, you know? But if you don't realize you're doing that, then, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like if no one ever tells
that
you.
asshole who's always collecting pity and doing all this shit, you know? And it's like,
Yeah,
really,
just,
like, well...
if everyone's just sitting there smiling and nodding as they're saying it, they might never realize.
Yeah. It's like, oh, the flight that I was going to go on, they canceled my ticket. And then, like, to commiserate with them, somebody tells them, like, oh, yeah, I had an airline do that to me, but it was because a famous person wanted that seat. And I got to meet him, you know, that kind of thing.
That sounds like just a bullshit story. Though.
Yeah, that does sound like a bullshit story.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same. That one sounds like an asshole, whereas like not relatable. Like I make up a story of like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to think what my thing is.
I don't like that person.
No,
exactly
I
right.
Neither.
It's guaranteed you have a thing.
I absolutely have a thing.
But what is the thing? I don't know.
I think one of my things is I'm always trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, and when I do that, I don't allow people to just feel angry in the moment at someone else. I'm like, well, I mean, maybe you're not thinking about this, or maybe this or this, and there's a feeling like, hey, let me vent. I can be angry and then deal with it, you know. But I'm always trying to preemptively being like, well, we don't know that, you know. I think that's my thing.
I think I do that too.
I do that as well.
I don't know. I'll be mad with you.
Yes.
I hate that guy too.
Like, you know what? Now that you're saying it, you make some good points.
He stepped on my toe.
So Kim, it was in the beginning of the episode, but she's just trying to get the feeling of being a lawyer again, or like passion.
I think it's the passion. I think like I think maybe she's kind of like at a crossroads of why is she a lawyer?
Yeah,
like what is she doing this for?
It's like,
And
oh,
she's
you
trying to
help the
find
bank,
it, right?
the bank
Yeah.
that, you know, everyone loves and always treats people equal. You know, like maybe that's the thing, I guess.
Well, like right now, the two things that she had were two big like companies that were vying for, well, this is a thing and this way I can get more money, right? Here's all the other firms I want to open. It's like, well, you're not helping any little people. It's not like Sandpiper, where you're helping all these old people who are being scammed out of their money.
You're not an environmental lawyer.
Yeah,
you know, trying to
like,
protect anything.
Maybe she's there trying to find. Like that's why he's
That makes
saying about
sense.
like that's the what was the show? The View, The Verge, the
Verdict.
The Verdict. Like maybe it's kind of like that's why he's like there's no great once in a lifetime cases that you're gonna have. They're all this guy threw pee on someone, stabbed over a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, she could just be looking for someone worthy to take on pro bono or whatever.
Maybe.
You know?
I wonder if those were real cases from
grilled
that
cheese sandwich
week
and
in Albuquerque.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's a good one.
No, yeah. We went down to the courthouse and got married, Jancy and I, and the judge that married us, I've known for most of my life, and he has talked about like, and my mom, who worked for him for very long, would talk about too, like, you would just deal with some terrible, absolutely soul-sucking cases, and then you have to just move on to the next one, or come home and be with your family. Like he had mentioned that he was dealing with a case, like when we were trying to schedule when we were going to get married. He's like, well, I got this case going on, and he kind of told me what it was going to be, and I just remember feeling like, Jesus, how do you? And then whenever he married us, it was perfectly fine, you know.
Yeah.
Ironically, I put a picture up on my Twitter of us getting married, and he was in there. So many people said that he looks like Mike Ehrmantraut.
Yeah.
And in that picture, I kind of see it.
I can see
in
it.
real life, I don't see it.
Yeah.
But in that picture, I'm like, okay, yeah, kind of. And then I was thinking, like, yeah, I would like that. I would like Mike to marry me. That would be great.
Yeah.
Do.
No.
All right.
Doing some of that stuff, I imagine it's like, in some cases, like you gotta send a kid to juvie, and other ones you gotta take a kid away from his family, and other ones you gotta, you know, like there's gotta be a lot of things where it's like, well, this one's reasonable, this one is heartbreaking, you know, this one is like stupid, you know, like you're gonna get a mixture of that kind of stuff. But
And there's a little bit of, like Rick, we've talked about in Lost Season 1, one of the characters has a father that tells him, like, you don't have what it takes. You can't just turn that off, come home and be. If you don't fix something, you go crazy and you unwind, you know?
Yeah.
You have to have a way to shut that off, I guess. And Kim has just kind of shut off everything. She's just working for a bank.
I think it's like when you get to max level in Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's more fun to start over and struggle with barely anything than
Sure,
it is to
I
have
understand.
like all the
Everything,
resources
yeah.
and be overpowered and not struggle in battle or anything.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it is more fun to just start over.
Maybe you
Like
got a
at
new game
zero.
plus, but you're not.
Sure.
Yeah.
But just the,
Huh.
you know,
Well, yeah, like, I imagine the way, it's probably not all lawyers, but the progression would be the better lawyer you get, the more experience, whatever, you take the higher profile cases. But the higher profile cases are probably the ones that are corporate versus corporate kind of thing, you know?
like
Like the real money making
thousands of billable hours, millions of dollars on the line.
Like you don't. I imagine that you don't. You're getting paid a lot of money, but you don't want to be the guy that's like representing the hospital that killed this young mother, and
Yeah.
and them being like, well, we don't have any responsibility. And now I have to deny this family all this stuff. I can't feel great, but the money probably feels pretty good. So they don't.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that.
But they're not deciding whether the hospital is liable or not.
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know.
they're just representing
They're
their
just
client as
representing
best they can.
their person
I
as
get it.
best as possible, and then it's like
Yeah.
the law will decide who is right.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there's those the lines of like when I'm on the, I'm on the defense of this, and like I know, it's not my job to prove. I'm supposed to put in a doubt, right?
Yeah.
But if I know like there was a mess up with the anesthesiologist putting in whatever and messed it up, and this is what caused this, and I know that that's the reason, but I need to put in reasonable doubt, whatever waivers you signed, all these different things of why they're not guilty of it. But that can still weigh on you, when you go home and you're looking at your kid or whatever, your wife, and you're like,
Yeah.
Well,
what
you
if
just
that happened to them?
You
I would hope
offload
that
it,
wouldn't,
right? It's like it's not my responsibility. It's the jury's or the judges or the
Yeah.
law.
Sure, yeah. Like a defense attorney for like murderers would be, I feel like, so hard because like you're bound to have at least assumptions at some point of being like, I believe from what I've been told and what I know, but client, attorney privileges, I can't say anything about this or that. But I
Sure.
know this guy did it, but I have to get him off on this,
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
or lesser penalties or whatever. Like that's his job is to do that stuff, and it's like that's got to be hard to go through.
it's gotta suck too when like, you're a lawyer asking your client like, all right, I need to know absolutely everything. It's like I can tell you, and I'm not gonna get in trouble. Yes, tell me everything. Okay, I killed her. Shit. How? Like, let's walk through the steps. Tell me everything that you did. Let's try to find like a little piece of evidence that could cause doubt or whatever.
Sure.
I hate my job.
Yeah.
I don't know which one would make me feel worse. If I was a defense attorney and got a murderer off and they murdered someone else, or if I was a prosecutor and I got an innocent man convicted.
Sure. Like as a defense attorney, you hope you get the ones where it's like this guy didn't do it, and I'm defending him to prove that he didn't do it.
Yeah.
But then also, like, what happens if you truly believe this guy did not do this, and he goes to jail for life for a murder?
I mean, most prosecutors get to choose whether to try the case or not. Is the thing, I guess.
Or at least
Sure.
the DA does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like most of them, like, they believe that guy is guilty, and here's what the proof they have. But
Or at least they believe that the law could convict him.
I think defense attorneys would be the hardest
Yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah.
Because as a prosecution, like, you're probably not talking really with the defendant too much. You're using what evidence you have, what witnesses you have, and all that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. When you tell your lawyer that, yeah, I killed that person, it's like, well, I'm not putting you on the stand.
And sometimes defense attorneys, it's not necessarily about getting them off on murder. It's about like, okay, well, instead of the chair,
Yeah.
Sure.
instead
Pleading
of a death
down.
penalty, how about life in prison? How about
like-
25 years, whatever the case is, you
Sure.
know?
Well, it looks
Yeah.
like we're not
Maybe
winning
it's-
this.
Maybe it's like, well, you did kill this guy, but it was in self-defense, yada, yada, here's the story. Maybe we can get you 10 years, whatever the case may be, however it plays out.
Get
So,
you off on manslaughter or
yeah. Sometimes it's a
something
little
like that.
different than being like, well, I know he's guilty, but let's not have it be so drastic versus like, this man murdered a whole family, now he's out free, Like,
The interesting ones that I've seen is a documentary. What is it called? It's about false confessions, where like the guy confessed to police that they killed this person.
Making a murderer?
And it's
No.
not making the murder, but it's on
But that was
along
also
that,
a
it's along
false
that line. 'Cause that's the
confession,
Brendan
right?
Dassey thing.
Yeah.
But along the line of like, not all confessions are created equal, and like there's some good science behind the idea that, because most people can't imagine like why would you ever plead guilty to something you didn't do. But there's a lot of science behind why you would.
but 10 years or 10 hours in the
Yeah.
interrogation room and then being
Yeah.
like, look, you can go home, but we just got to get this done, you
Yeah.
know? And they're like pushing you.
But you can be a prosecutor and be like, he confessed to the crime. I'm going to do whatever I can to get them in jail, you know? And then you hear those things and you don't want to think that it's a possible thing, because if that happens, then I have to doubt all confessions.
Yeah, well, because then also you get the people who are, and there was somebody I was watching that was talking about this, but there was a guy who came forward for murders, but this guy had nothing to do with the murders, and he was like a clout chaser kind of thing, right? Like he wanted
seeking the attention.
He wanted to be notorious for these murders that he didn't do.
He's the guy that like people were just bringing cold cases, and like they would arrange with the sheriff or whoever that was keeping him, and he would just confess to all their murders. You know, so he was racking up his kill count, but then it was very obvious he had nothing to do with these, but they didn't care. They were closing cases.
Yeah. Huh. Hey, did you do this? Yeah, I did. Yeah. All right, case closed.
Yeah.
You know?
How'd you do it? You did it with a knife, right? Yeah.
I always hate those things too. Like you don't let the witness talk, and they like the cops are feeding the things and stuff too. It's like, I stabbed her behind, you know, from behind and stuff. It's like they wouldn't even know what they did. It wouldn't be for the police.
You did it in the kitchen. You mean the garage? Yeah, I'm at the garage. Fuck.
We also had the storming of the
twins.
The twins going in, and I love that scene.
You want to talk about no reaction?
Yeah.
Moses. Mike has no reactions, but those twins are just...
They're the definition of stoic.
They're shooting guns with no blinking,
They're a force of
flinching,
nature,
nothing.
yeah.
They're, you know... Oh, man.
I can just imagine what...
The guy was shot, didn't care.
What... what's his name? Salamanca head guy.
Tio? Hector?
Hector. Yeah, I can just imagine what Hector was like in his younger days.
Dude,
like as efficient as they are, but with rage.
I love the idea of one, like, those guys didn't know there were two of them because they're dressed so similar.
There's a guy in a silver suit, he's bald.
He's wearing crocodile boots.
He's fucking everywhere.
But I also love the idea of, like, this guy shows up, he's shot, bloodied everywhere. The other guy just walks out clean.
Yeah.
I love that too.
And he did get hit. They said Marco took a hit. Did we know their names before?
I
I don't remember.
Maybe.
I think Hank had their names because he was like he knew that they were connected with the Salamancas in Breaking Bad, but I don't know that we ever like.
It's Marco and Micro.
No.
It's
Marco
and Micro. We should play an RTS sometime, Rick.
It's Marco and Polo.
That's actually better, Rick.
It is better.
That fits better.
You're right. I'm ashamed.
But now we should play an RTS.
And RTS? Just any RTS?
Any. Age of Empires, StarCraft. That's all I got. Those are the two I've played. I think I played more. Age of Mythology, but it's similar to Age of Empires.
Halo Wars.
I played Halo Wars. And I played Halo Wars 2, though.
I want to look at Captono's notes for this episode. He had two of them. One is Anita, the woman attending the support group, is wearing a Craddock Marine Bank badge, which is the bank that Mike's lawyer uses to deposit hazard pay into Mike's guys and Kaylee. So there's a connection there. And then the guard at the courthouse mentions Judge Papa Dumaine, who is the same judge that Saul mentions to Hank and Gomez in Breaking Bad. Gomez comments on how relatively lenient rulings for the defendants this judge has. Okay. So cool. So we've heard that judge's name before in Breaking Bad, but I don't know if we've ever seen him or anything. But yeah, cool little details. That I'm glad they threw in there, and I would never, in a million years, have forgotten.
Unless you had just watched that episode for some reason, out of order.
Yeah.
With this one.
Yeah, if this was Better Call Saul in the Star Wars universe, I might get those. But
yeah.
Not in this one.
Sure.
Nope. Now we get to watch maybe Jimmy sell cell phones. A lot.
And Mike do a job.
To criminals. Yeah, what the job will be, I don't know.
Maybe it's like ruling the new territory that he was just given.
Ruling?
Yeah.
You want Mike to rule it? I don't know if that's
I don't
his
know about that.
categories there.
It's good to
Well,
be.
I mean, that's going to be the job, whether he takes it or not.
It's good to be king. Eagle crown. Guys, thank you very much for watching this episode of Better Call Saul with us. Make sure you check out patreon.com/blindwave, where you can watch up to the next 4 reactions right now. And also full length of it as well, because these are long episodes. We can't fit everything in, though we try. We try.